I'm actually really digging doing these storytime videos, so I'm going to talk about the time where I really wanted a Game Boy Color. And I mostly wanted one because I had 3 cousins who had it. They were like older than me. They were like the ones I was like little, but they would always have their Game Boys around them. They were my 3 cousins, 3 girls, and they would always play Pokemon. They were obsessed with Pokemon, and it was really because of them I became obsessed with Pokemon. Because I wasn't really into Digimon when I was younger, but I had a Digimon coloring book, and that was like the closest thing I ever got. I did watch a Digimon cartoon. I just can't remember like what it was for the life of me, but I saw some of Digimon when I was younger in that Digimon coloring book. But I really wanted a Game Boy. And they would always play Pokemon. They would never let me play because they wouldn't want me to freaking delete their save data, and that pissed me off. And I was like, man, I wanted to play. Like I was a brat. I really wasn't really a brat when I was younger, but I did want to play because I think I became obsessed with Pokemon not because of the actual like series at first. It's because they were playing it, and I was too young to get it. Because like Pokemon felt like that kind of thing that only the big cool kids could play at that time, and I wanted to play that, but I didn't have my way of getting it. So I didn't really necessarily beg my mom and dad for it, but one Christmas, actually it wasn't even Christmas, I think it was like a week before Christmas actually, that my dad took me to a pawn shop to give me a Game Boy Color. I still remember it. It was I think a magenta one. It was magenta. And we went to a pawn shop, and there were like really no games at the pawn shop that I actually wanted to play. So I picked out the first one that caught my eye, and that was a Tiger Woods game. I didn't know what the hell the game was. I just picked one because I just wanted to get the pawn shop. There was really nothing there I wanted. And so I was like, okay, I got this Tiger Woods game. And despite, I figured it would have been boring because I'm not really a golf kind of person, but I kind of got obsessed with that game because that was the only one I really had. It was the only game I had for about a year or so, until I was able to go to this little game store I live near called Game Exchange. I love the Game Exchange. I miss that place so much because I pretty much could find anything I wanted there that I could afford. My mom and dad really wouldn't want to buy me any big games. I think any game that reached up to $25 they wouldn't buy. And like I remember when I got a little older and when I had my Game Boy Advance and I saw a copy of Pokemon Emerald there, but because it was $30, my mom and dad wouldn't buy it. I was like, God damn it. Yeah, $25 was my spending limit, so I had to make do with what I did. So the next game I bought was Pokemon Blue. And my brother had Pokemon Red. My little brother had Pokemon Red. And we would play that. We never actually had anything to trade with. We never had like a link cable or anything like that, but we did play the games pretty often with each other and stuff like that. We would always talk about the games. That was back then when my little brother was actually into Pokemon. Like, he's not into Pokemon as he used to be. The most recent Pokemon game he played was Let's Go, and he actually was interested in, which is shocking to me. And then we managed to cop a copy of Pokemon Yellow. And that was like really the biggest time we were into Pokemon, because like me and my younger brother, we only played like Pokemon together up until Black and White 2, and I gave him a copy of Black 2, so you know. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, after we played a lot of Pokemon, because I remember those fun days, I finally got Pokemon. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I was really happy to finally get it, though once I finally got it, my cousins fell out of interest of it. I was like, oh, I mean, they didn't fall out of complete interest, they still played it, but you know, they weren't into Pokemon. They were, because it just took me too long to get it. And after that, I was like, okay, I want more Pokemon. I want more Pokemon games. Like, what's going on here? Like, everyone in the schoolyard was talking about Pokemon and stuff like that. And I didn't know what to do about it. Because, like, I didn't ever have a link cable, right? And I wanted to trade Pokemon with them. Because I know one person had another version. You know, like, I tried to ask my brother. But we thought that this whole crap was wireless. Like, we thought the wireless shit was that before like the DS came out. Like, we could trade Pokemon wirelessly. It's crazy. I don't know where we got that idea from, but yeah, it was a good time to be a Pokemon fan because it was like huge back then, like huge. But I still wanted to try some other Pokemon stuff. So I managed to get a hold of a copy of Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy. And I didn't know shit about the trading card game. Yeah, I seen the cards before at that point because my cousins had them. They pretty much collected anything Pokemon, like coloring books, guidebooks and shit like that. Like, they pretty much got anything Pokemon. They were obsessed with that shit. The only thing I had to my name in regards to Pokemon before I got Pokemon Red, I'm sorry, Pokemon Blue, was it was a board game called Master Trainer. That was literally the only Pokemon merchandise I owned before I got a chance to play an actual Pokemon game. So after I got Pokemon Trading Card Game, I didn't know shit about the actual card game, but the game actually did teach me a lot of things with the card game. And while I never officially played the actual card game myself, I did collect the cards, but I never actually played the game, like physically, like with real cards. I really enjoy Pokemon Trading Card Game. It still holds up really well to this day. You know, like AI jank bullshit aside, you know, the game's actually really fun, and it does teach you the ropes of how to play the game really well. It's insane how well it's hold up. Now, granted, there's no way it's going to hold up nowadays because rules have changed. Like, holy shit. It's just like early day Yu-Gi-Oh! You're never gonna get shit like that back again. Ugh. So after playing Trading Card Game, I remember it took me years to beat that game because you get like at the end of the game you have to fight like 4 trainers. It's like the Elite Four of the trading card game. You have to beat all 4 of them and then the champion without losing, and they are so hard to beat, man. Like, oh my god, like they're harder than like any base game Pokemon like Elite Four. It's ugh. Anyway, after that, I managed to get a copy of Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land was a game I wanted but didn't really enjoy playing. I think I played up to like I think the second world and kind of gave up. No, I played to a world where like Mario was like flying around in like some kind of flying machine. Again, it's been a while since I played the game, but like I remember getting to that part and just never playing again. But I do finally remember the overworld theme. If there's one thing I can remember about Mario Land, it's the damn overworld theme. That game, that song is like inhumanly addictive. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also played Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color. Mario Tennis was actually pretty fun. I was never really a sports game kind of guy, but seeing this Mario Tennis game with original characters that you could level up and customize like a JRPG was actually kind of weird to me. I never knew why, but I felt like, you know, playing it was actually pretty fun. Plus the final bosses being Mario and Peach was actually something really cool. Like, you know, you played the entirety of Mario Tennis, and you're wondering, where are the Mario characters at? You know, you played the entire game, Mario characters are barely around, and the only time you're getting kind of symbols of Mario is like you go against Donkey Kong. Like you go against Donkey Kong himself, like I think just before you fight Mario and Peach, which is kind of cool. Mario and Peach is actually the final bosses. I like that idea. I don't know why, but like you play the entirety of Mario Tennis and like barely any Mario characters show up. Like you're playing just like a completely original like story and characters, and like, oh, then Mario pops up. You know his name's in the game. And I know like they have like a thing where like, you know, the sports games are like RPGs of sorts when they're handhelds. But I don't know, I've always found that game interesting. So after Mario Land, let's see, the other game I got was Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories was a game that I didn't know shit about. I only bought it because, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on the TV, and I kind of wanted a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. And, you know, some of these early Yu-Gi-Oh! Games don't follow the rules that we are established to these days. And definitely not Dark Duel Stories. Like, no. Like, Dark Duel Stories was a game that didn't play anything like Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. And I never grasped it, really. I never really grasped it. All I know is I kept losing to Blue Eyes White Dragon. And I'm not even sure how like early game decks even got that damn card, knowing Kaiba was only supposed to want to have it. So the point is, like, I had no idea how to play because I didn't know how to attribute monsters. I didn't know how to equip stuff work. Spells were weird. Everything was just weird, you know? That game was like one of the most weirdest Yu-Gi-Oh! Games outside of like Duelist of the Roses. And Duelist of the Roses didn't come out until years later after that, so. Let's see, another game I played. Oh yeah, I played Donkey Kong Land. Donkey Kong Land, I do not like playing that game. The music's lovely, and the fact that it still looks good on a Game Boy cartridge, despite, you know, how, you know, graphically limited it is, still looks pretty good. I hate playing that game mostly because it was freaking hard. It was unreasonably hard. It had no reason being as hard as it was. Like, because of the screen's limited size, you couldn't really see what was ahead of you, and then you get hit by shit off screen, or like the physics of the game wouldn't really work too well, and you just slip off and fall on shit. Like, specifically, there's an ice level that is one of the most unreasonably hard levels in that game. I hated it. It sucked. And every time I play Donkey Kong Land, I'm thinking, shit, I gotta go through this again. And I never beat that game. Never did. And I never wanted to. I just, I think I made it to the final level though, but I never beat it because I didn't have the energy for it no more. Like, back in the day, like, games really had to grab me in order to keep my attention. Like, nowadays I could probably beat it and don't give no shits about it now, but ugh. There was also a Bionic Commando game I had, but I don't remember much about it. I remember the name. It took me like a while just to remember the name Bionic Commando. But I remember the game, because I don't even know how I got it. I think I just bought it in like one of those bulk packs we had at Game Exchange. Because Game Exchange, they used to have deals where you can like have like a bundle of random games. It was like kind of like a mystery box kind of thing. It's like, oh, you get these bundle of games like this little box. We got 3 games for $5. And me being a kid, I think, man, 3 games for $5, that's a steal. And my dad didn't complain because he spent $5 to get me 3 games. And one of those games I had one day was Bionic Commando, and another one was like a Mortal Kombat 4. The GBC version of Mortal Kombat 4. Gross, horrific game. But yeah, Bionic Commando, I didn't play too much, but I think I did have fun with it. Like, it's like a memory in my head fading in and out. Like, it's there, but I just cannot remember the game directly. If I looked it up before I start this video, maybe I'll remember. I also had Pokemon Puzzle League. Don't remember much about that one either, and I played the 64 version more than the Game Boy version, so I can't really comment on that, but I know I had it. We went to Game Exchange, and I got Pokemon Puzzle League, and my brother was searching around for something, and I can't remember what he got that day. I think it was Pokemon Pinball, because we wanted a different Pokemon game, and I think he got Pinball, and I got Puzzle League. Yeah. Oh man, I kind of regret that purchase because I thought Pokemon Puzzle League was going to be like something epic, I didn't read the words Puzzle League, and it was a puzzle game. I didn't like it. But when I got the 64 version, I really liked it. It was one of those things it took me time to appreciate on a different console. Another game I could come to mind is Paperboy 2. Now, Paperboy is this game where you play as a paperboy, and your goal is to essentially escape zombies who are coming after you and other obstacles. Like, you gotta jump over pitfalls, dogs could come after you, and you essentially just have to deliver your papers on time, and you make sure you don't get, killed by anything. And Paperboy 2 is a weird game, because I played it on for my channel a couple of years ago. And I hate Paperboy 2. The game is unbelievably cheap. Like, ugh. The game sucks so hard, because you could just die by the most random shit. Like, there's a section in the game where you have to cross a street. And once you hit the street part, everything becomes white because it's supposed to symbolize everything in the street. You don't see no sidewalks, you don't see no road. The whole road is white. And a car just randomly comes in and you barely have enough time to avoid it. That shit sucks. And I hated it. And that's mainly why I died so many times in the goddamn game. Because, like, this car just kills your ass because you can't see where it's going and it comes in too fast. Like, ugh. Anyway, and I think the final game that I really got to enjoy with my Game Boy was Pokemon Gold and Silver. Because my brother bought Pokemon Gold. I think he had Gold. No. I had Gold and he had Silver. And we wouldn't play it that much together. I mean, I played enough to beat it, but my brother, the games had that internal battery issue where it just, didn't work after a while because, we got a Game Exchange. Those games could have been through, anyone else could have had those games, right? And, the game's internal battery didn't work, so it would delete save data after a while because, the cartridge was old. And my brother, he played the game up to Lake of Rage. And he was going to after the Lake of Rage, he was going to the Rocket Hideout in Mahogany Town. Yeah. And when he wanted to turn the game on the next day, the save file was gone. So yeah, and it was a painful time. But it took me years to figure out why that happened. We just figured the cartridges were defective, but whatever. And after that, was my brother's Game Boy, at least his Game Boy Pokemon experience. And I got Crystal a year later. And for whatever reason, Crystal never gave me that eternal battery issue. It never did. It was crazy. Crystal worked perfectly fine when I played it. I just didn't play it too much. I think it was around that time where I just, didn't want to play my Game Boy anymore because, like, when I had my Game Boy, we ran through so many batteries, and this goes for my Game Boy Advance too, and I'll probably bring this topic up again when I talk about my Game Boy Advance. But spending like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on batteries became a reality in our household. Mostly for me and my brother, because we had to split the batteries among the two of us. And the thing is, when we used to have batteries like that, when our batteries would run out, we would dump them in a plastic bag, like a plastic store bag, right? And we would shake up the batteries. And then we'll pick out 2 batteries that, like it was like a random chance, And for some reason, that would always work. They would always work as brand new batteries. It was like a luck of the draw, It didn't happen all the time, Like I could put like 2 alkaline batteries in there and shake them around with a bunch of other random batteries we got from different stores. And I pull out an alkaline and like a generic battery from like a generic store we went through. And then I'll just put those together. And then it'll work for a couple hours before we have to do the shake again. And then the batteries that didn't work, didn't work too bad. Didn't work too well, we just tossed them. That we spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on batteries, and it only got worse when we had our Game Boy Advance. This was before we bought an SP. But when we got our straight up like normal Game Boy Advance, we tore through so many batteries, man. Like not too many when we had our GB, like regular Game Boy Colors. But when we got our Advances, man, we just tore through batteries like crazy. It was a crazy time. Holy shit. I just remember how many freaking sacks of batteries we had that were just used and drained. Like, ugh. But I was too afraid to throw them in the trash because the packaging warning said, you're not supposed to throw batteries in trash like that, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh shit, I guess we got to keep them. And then we just kept reusing them. And there's the 2 of us. Hell, one day, we actually managed to get a 3rd Game Boy. I have no idea how that happened. Like a Game Boy Color. And my brother had my brother had like a blue one. He had not a blue one. It was like I think it was like turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. I had a purple one, my brother had a turquoise one, and we had a green one left over. And I don't know how he got that green one, but we gave it to my mom. She obviously never played it, but we didn't know what to do with it. So we just gave it to my mom, and she never even touched it at all. And my cousins always had the coolest Game Boy, especially my oldest cousin, Mercedes. She had that purple see-through Game Boy Color where you could see into like the system's internal stuff. And I thought that was the coolest one ever. I loved that one. And I wish I had one of those growing up, because I always thought those see-through handhelds and consoles looked the coolest. But yeah. Like she has the coolest one. Like oh my god, that's not even fair. My cousins also had they also had like a bunch of other accessories to their Game Boys and shit like that. They had like this light attachment where they could attach their Game Boys and play in the dark, which I thought that was pretty funny. They had like a bunch of other shit too, but they mostly just had that kind of accessory stuff for their Game Boy, because my Aunt Janet, she just bought a lot of stuff for their Game Boys. They pretty much did nothing but play games all the time back then, mostly Pokemon. But yeah, I think that's my end of my little video here about my Game Boy Color history. Thank you for sticking around all this far. If you guys had a Game Boy Color in your childhoods, I definitely want to hear your experiences and what games you played for. I definitely like to hear that, because I love hearing about people in their old childhood stuff about games they played. So without further ado, I am out. Peace everyone, and I hope you all have a great day.